Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
I see you. Yeah, you. Right there. With the green eyes. The blue shirt. Yeah, I see you. You
Standing to yourself?
Huh?
Brant!
The snozberries taste like snozberries. Hey, Redline.
And welcome to this week's announcements.
We're coming to you pre-recorded from
the cry room? it's all just kind of flooding back.
We're coming to you pre-recorded from Luke's house, also known as the cry room. It is quite like a cry room now. You've got a baby now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That has happened since our last episode.
She's always crying,
So
as
this basically
any of us
is the
would
cry
if Luke
room.
was our dad.
Wow.
So mean.
That was terrible.
That was so mean.
I know she did her duty.
Well, Luke is off to change another diaper.
Why does her little feet say
My
that?
own.
We're perfect.
Anyway, on to today's show. Our last episode, if you will, seemed to get a lot of good feedback. You people watch us for some reason. So there's that. And we decided to do another one of these things.
Yeah, this episode actually comes highly requested. In fact, I just had someone say today, when are you going to film another episode?
Yeah.
I was like,
There's
maybe-
been clamoring from the masses, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had someone just ask me for my autograph the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was my wife, but she's my biggest fan.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, Rachel. So, let's get down to it today.
To the nitty gritty.
Down to the nitty. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
It's so creepy.
That's all I really wanted to do with that. So we've been thinking, here we are, mid-October, end of October, and thinking about Halloween.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd talk a little bit about Halloween and some of those experiences. And
Yeah. I mean, growing up, my parents took me trick-or-treating every year.
Yeah?
In fact, it started when I was 2 years old. They dressed me up as Satan.
when you were 2 years old.
2 years old.
Satan.
Little pitchfork, little horns.
Wow.
Isn't that
So you
our-
basically went as yourself. I'm sorry. I just had to get you back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Oh, I'm sorry.
So what about you?
Well, we went trick-or-treating. It's kind of the opposite of your experience. We were only allowed to go trick-or-treating if we dressed up as Bible characters. So
Really?
I wanted to think of the most gruesome, disgusting Bible character I could, so I could. I had a set of zombie makeup that I wanted to buy, and so I decided to go as Job when the Bible talks about that he had boils afflicting his skin, and so I used zombie makeup to put nastiness like Ebola symptoms all over my arms,
Wow.
and I went as Job in like a tattered canvas
I think
outfit.
I think if I had your parents, I would just go ahead and dress up as a zombie, and then just go as like Ezekiel 37, Valley of the Dry Bones.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
See?
Yeah.
But I dressed up as all kinds of things when I was a kid. One year, my mom just wrapped me in foil, and I went as leftovers.
I'm sorry. That's gotta do something to a kid.
I got a lot of questions. People were wondering,
Do we need to
what
talk
are
about
you?
that?
And I was like, I'm leftovers, and it was
Did you develop a complex or anything?
no,
from
it
that?
was a lot of awkward moments.
Yeah.
No, one of my favorite costumes I dressed up as Patch Adams.
I just
Yeah.
watched that movie for the first time a couple weeks ago.
I had the doctor suit and the nose, and I got invited to a Halloween party that year. It was the first Halloween party I'd ever been invited to. So I went to this guy's Halloween party, and I remember at one point we all went upstairs to play video games or something, and we went up there, and the door to his playroom didn't have a doorknob.
How old are you at this point?
I was probably like 10 years old.
Okay.
So
So you're kind of socially.
Yeah, I'm
getting out
kind of
there.
discovering who
Yeah.
I am, and I'd never been invited to a party before,
Right.
so I didn't know what protocol was. And so I just went up, to the room, and they had this door without a doorknob. It was just a hole in the door, and so I thought it would be funny if I stuck my nose through the doorknob. So on the other side, all they see is like this clown.
So there's
nose.
people in this room with no doorknob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I'm trying to be funny, and I stick my nose in the hole, which
That seems like a great idea.
Actually, it seemed like a rule of thumb. If there's a hole, generally just don't stick your nose in it,
but you're 10 years old. I mean, that's
So what do I know?
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
never been to a party and there's a hole. I mean, I'm thinking I should put my nose through it. So I do. And when I do, I hear the guys laughing on the other side. And so I get ready to pull out and open the door and go in. And when I pull my head back, I realize that they've grabbed the nose.
No.
So now the nose, which is tied to my face, they've pulled it taut. So I can't escape. My face is stuck to the door, and I'm just screaming. And I was quite a sensitive child, and whenever they released my nose, it came flying back through the hole into my face, and they had broken the squeaker.
Oh,
so
no.
now my nose no longer squeaked, and I was quite scarred, actually. I think I ended up crying, and I didn't get invited back next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? How long were you like yanked against the door?
I would say it was probably for a couple minutes. I mean, the reason I was crying is because I was genuinely afraid that I wasn't going to be able to make it out alive.
That took a dark turn. I thought you were going to say genuinely in pain. All of a sudden, that took a very dark turn.
I mean, it was we're 10 years old and there's all these young boys. I mean, it was a miracle that I made it out alive that night.
Yeah.
It was quite scarring.
One year, my brother, we weren't going trick-or-treating. We were a little bit too old. You're in that teenage window where you're too old to go trick-or-treating, but you still want to have some fun with the season.
Right.
And so what we did is we bought if we found it in the trash, or we bought it at Home Depot, a giant trash can, like the city code type trash cans, and we cut out the bottom of it, and what we would do is we built handles on the inside of the trash can, and so we left the trash can on the walkway, so kids would be walking up, and it's like right off the walkway to our house. Kids would be walking up just to get candy, just innocently getting candy, and between my brother and I, we would jump up out of the trash can and just scare the living daylights out of these little kids. We had kids like run away, dropping their candy. It was absolutely horrifying. These poor kids.
So you weren't allowed to dress up in scary outfits, but you were allowed to dress up as trash cans and scare the pants off of some kids.
Yes, I'm sure we did things that kids needed counseling for. It was pretty horrifying. So I missed out on a lot not being able to dress up. There's only so many Bible characters you can cycle through that are horrifying and scary.
I was never allowed to dress up as anything scary. I was always the
except
hero.
for Satan when you were 2.
Yeah, exactly. But after that point, I was never allowed to dress up as anything scary. No monsters, nothing like that. I always had to be a hero. And so the scariest thing I ever got to be was Darth Vader.
Oh.
I was in Bible school. I heard that Chipotle gave out free burritos to anybody who dressed up as a burrito on Halloween.
Yeah.
And so being a Bible school student, free food.
A lot of money, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is a must-have.
Yeah.
And so it didn't matter what it was free. And so I decided to go with my friend, and so he grabbed a sunscreen from his car and just wrapped it around him so he looked like foil.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I, being a little more creative, we had this round tablecloth in my house, and it was like a tan tablecloth that was round, and it was kind of plasticky.
Okay.
And so it looked like a giant tortilla, and so I just put on a brown sweater to look like beans, and I rolled myself up in it. And we drove to Chipotle and went inside, and when we went inside, nobody was dressed up as burritos or any Hispanic food of the like. And so I felt like I had been lied to. I thought this whole thing was a sham. So I went up to the counter and I said, I heard that people were supposed to dress up to get free burritos. I see that didn't happen. Are the free burritos also a lie? And the guy's like, no, here's your free burrito. I mean, I think he may have been genuinely scared, because what do you say when an angry burrito asks you for a burrito? If you say no, what could happen? You know? I mean, I could take off my earrings, take off my tortilla, it could get real.
I've had dealings with an angry burrito before.
Yeah.
It was a miserable night. Couldn't use the guest bathroom for a month. I'm sorry. Wow. You're the only ones in there dressed up.
We were
You
the
took it a
only
little
ones-
too seriously, it sounds like.
Yeah, we were the only
Because
ones
I've done that
dressed
before,
up.
and I would just grab a piece of tinfoil from, like, you know, the office or the church office or something, and just wrap it around my head and call that a burrito. And I've gotten free burritos that way.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe the whole thing is a lie. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe Chipotle doesn't know what's going on. Some guy just started this internet ad, and people are showing up at Chipotle dressed as these crazy
They don't know what
things,
to do.
and they're asking for free burritos. And so the people, I mean, if you're working at Chipotle, you're afraid to say
Just
no.
out of desperation. Sure, have a burrito.
What do you say when someone with a foil hat comes in and says, "Can I have a free burrito?" It's just like, absolutely. Just get out of this establishment.
It all started 9 years ago. Some random guy on the internet.
We need to start something like that. We need to start we need to start something like that. Like if you dress up as a hamburger and go to In-N-Out, you get free burgers.
But we had a lot of great feedback from our last episode, so we want to know in the comment section what your Halloween experiences are. What are some of your Halloween experiences? And, as last time, keep us alive. Give us more ideas and information and things you want to hear about.
Inspire us,
Keep
is what he means.
Give us some motivation. Why do we need to be doing
What we're asking for is money. Let's just come right out and say it. We are struggling to survive. This whole show is our livelihood. Keep us alive. Keep us alive. We're wasting away. We're dressing up as burritos and asking for free figures.